Barcelona top the table and Scavolini Pesaro are second, so a very tough game ahead for Kingston at Crystal Palace against the Italian champions. Well, now these are the teams and the ones that are highlighted, the starting five. Kingston are inspired by Alton Bird, the former NBA player who's now a nationalised Englishman, and England international Martin Clark, last season's Player of the Year. Scavolini, the Italian champions, are led by Walter Magnifico, lovely name that. Their most capped player, he is with 170. Darren Day and Darwin Cook are their two American stars. We join it at the start of the second half, Kingston having had a real stormer in the first half and leading 47-43 at the break. Your commentators Bill Beswick and Paul Dickinson.
The Kingston players in blue coming back onto court in the second half of this European Cup competition. And after a very slow start in the first half, and both teams, but especially Kingston, getting into some foul trouble. Kingston 47 points to 43 in the lead, and a chance to take their first victory from this European Cup competition. Coach Kevin Cadle, I'm sure, having strong words at half-time. And it'll be very interesting to see if the tactics change from the first half.
I don't think so. I think it'll be more of the same. England can be proud of Kingston. It's as fine a first half as I've seen an English club play. But it's a job half done, and the tough part comes now with this very experienced Scavolini team from Italy. They've been here before, they know what to do, and Kingston have got a very difficult job on their hands.
Darren Day having the first shot of this second half, and the ball brought out straight away by Alton Bird, number 10, but a very sloppy pass there. And I have to say that Alton Bird is certainly not having the best game I've seen him play this season.
Well, it's tension and leadership and responsibility. He's 33 years old, it's his big moment playing in Europe, and he wants to win, and he's got a tough job marking Darwin Cook there, number 8.
That's Costa on the ball for the Italian champions, the league champions in 1990.
Still on 16 points.
Cunningham taking the rebound straight to Bird, and Cunningham really having a magnificent match. Already scored 11 points and taken 11 rebounds so far. So a very valuable contribution to this match. Still the score, 47-43. Kingston 4 points in the lead.
Man-to-man offense from the Scavolini team. They're each of them marking one of the Kingston players. Trevor Gordon beats his man. He shows how it can be done. Steps around him. Nice move to the basket by big number 15, Trevor Gordon.
That's 12 points there for Trevor Gordon so far in this match, and that extends the lead to 6. Magnifico there, number 6, drifting into the middle. And that's a foul there for Alan Cunningham, his second.
One of the factors of the second half of any big game is foul trouble, and
so that's Alton Bird's third foul. Kingston's still in the lead by 5 points, and Kingston defence looking very tight at the moment. Bird taking the rebound, breaks out quickly, and a good feed there to Trevor Gordon, and he goes to 14 points.
And I can't stress what a great game Trevor Gordon's had. One of the benefits to Kingston will be the long-time experience that his players will have of having played in European basketball, and Trevor Gordon's grown as much as any of them.
Well, there might have been a thought of a foul there, but in fact the Italian adjudged to have walked with the ball. That is travelling in basketball terms. That was Costa. So still a 7-point lead, and a valuable lead it's going to be. Another sloppy pass there, but possession stays with Kingston. Bird goes for the long shot, and 2 points.
Magic moments for Kingston, everything's going right. The Italian coach there, he's got problems. Kevin Cadle paces the sideline, he's enthusiastic. This is when it can happen.
I think it's fair to say that Kingston have come out in this second half with a renewed confidence. Cunningham's third foul. He doesn't like it. Coach Kevin Cadle doesn't like it, and the crowd certainly don't like it.
Well, one of the things about playing in Europe, you've got to get used to European referees, and Alan Cunningham is sending those body language signals about what he thinks about them. It was a dubious call, to say the least, but it gives Scavolini the ball.
The ball goes back to Darren Cook, over to his teammate Day.
Scavolini going back to their tried and trusted play. They've got some very tall players, so they lob the ball in. Here he is, Walter Magnifico. He turns, and all Martin Clark can do is push him and collect the foul.
Well, that in fact was Martin Clark's third foul, so one hopes there's not going to be a repeat of one of their previous European Cup matches when 4 players eventually had to leave the court on 5 fouls as the Italians attack the basket. That brings back 2 points. So the lead down to 7. And 4 Kingston players now on 3 fouls, and this could spell a bit of trouble later on as Bird takes his tally to 6 with another 2 points. The lead goes back up to 9.
Kingston changed the zone defence there. They must be getting tired. Kevin Cadle gives the order, and all of a sudden, instead of marking men, they're marking spaces round the basket. And unfortunately, that's the 4th foul on Alton Bird. He got left with one very tall man in a rebound situation, tried to snatch the ball, and referee rules a foul. Difficult moment for Kevin Cadle. Here it is. You can see Alton coming in from the far side. Referee's seen it. He calls it a foul. Kevin Cadle's got the problem. He's going to take the little man out of the game. Now that hurts Kingston, and if the rhythm of the game suddenly changes, you're going to know why.
Well, that's the picture of the Italian team captain, Walter Magnifico. 170 Italian caps, so probably the most experienced player on court. As Lorenzo Duncan, who had a fine first half, goes on the drive. And Cunningham takes the rebound. That was a great attacking rebound there by Cunningham. The ball goes back to Duncan. Cunningham having a fantastic match.
All the problems now with Lorenzo Duncan. He's taken Alton Bird's place, so he finds Martin Clark. And there's that man again, Alan Cunningham. Not scoring many points, but rebounding and, as Paul says, making a valuable contribution to the Kingston team.
Another 2 points there from Trevor Gordon. He scored 10 in the first half, and he has not missed a basket yet. He had 5 out of 5 successful shots in the first half. Good 2 points there from Darren Day. And he takes his total up to 8. And in fact, that's the first time he's scored from the field. All 6 points in the first half coming from free throws.
Lorenzo Duncan sensibly calming things down and setting Kingston up. They really need to maintain their scoring rate now. Stop this Italian team coming back in the game, but they're finding it difficult to find gaps.
Well, still the lead, 7 points as the Italians go on a drive, and in the Darren Day results in losing possession. Goes back to Lorenzo Duncan, and I just wonder whether the drums in the background are in fact going to make the Italians feel more at home, because that's the sort of thing we'd normally hear in Italy.
Yes, but it's a good sign, isn't it? The Kingston fans getting behind their team and beginning to enjoy European basketball. So important home advantage, and we really in England don't make enough from it, and the Italians are so used to having those big crowds supporting them.
Well, Cunningham was blocked out there by Darwin Cook, and he recovered to take his total to 11 points in this match. So Cook there, one of the top scorers for the Italians.
And a sign of fatigue from the Italian team. They switched into a zone defence. The red team there marking spaces rather than men, and you can see that they trap the ball in the middle, which is exactly what the zone's supposed to do. So the lead now down to 5 points. Kevin Cadle
concerned that this lead may be being stripped back. And it looks as though we could be seeing Alton Bird coming back on at the next chance that Kingston have to make a substitution.
That's a wise move by Kevin. There's a lot of intensity in the game now. The Italians are putting the squeeze on, and he really needs Alton back on the floor. He's just got to take the chance that Alton can stay out of that 5th foul trouble. It was great work by Lorenzo Duncan, taking responsibility. There was no good offense then. Nobody was free, so he comes on his own. Here he comes, and he nice little fake. See how he draws the big man into the foul. Big man takes the fake, and Lorenzo Duncan gets the shots.
Well, with Costa at 6 feet 11 tall and Lorenzo Duncan at 6'3", that was quite some barrier for Lorenzo to get out of the way. And he's successful with that shot. So the lead back up to 6 points. Eight points for Lorenzo Duncan now in the match. So it's Darren Day back on the ball. And a foul there off the ball. I'm just wondering whether, in fact, it was Martin Clark. Martin Clark certainly taking issue with the referee. Yes, indeed, it was Martin Clark, and he is now on 4 fouls. That is going to give him worry, and Coach Cadle, because one more foul for Clark, and he will go off.
I must say that the refereeing has been rather inconsistent, and the Italian coach agrees with me. And the signal wasn't very clear there. Martin Clark thought he had a foul, and it's turned out to be against the Italians. And there's a lot of tension in the stadium now. The Italian coach is beginning to feel this will not help him calmly judge how to win this game. He is a man with problems. Alton Bird now, back with the ball.
Well, Kingston on the attack again, and the confusion there really lay in the fact that Martin Clark and Costa had the same number, 14, so Costa's foul it was. Martin Clark goes for the outside shot. Darwin Cook brings the ball down court, and that's a long drive from him to his American teammate. And I just wonder whether that was a foul against Cunningham. If it is, that will be his 4th foul. And indeed it was a foul against Cunningham. So now Kingston in foul trouble. Cunningham certainly making probably the most valuable contribution to Kingston tonight. And Coach Cadle can hardly afford to have him off court for any length of time at all.
It's always a difficult decision for coaches. What does he do? He needs Alan Cunningham for his rebounding power, but at the same time, he can't afford to let Alan get that 5th foul, so he's got to be thinking substitutions and having him step out of the game, at least for a couple of minutes, just to regain his composure.
So both Cunningham and Alton Bird, who's on the ball at the moment, on 4 fouls, 2 key players in this Kingston side. They've still got a 6-point lead, nearly halfway through the second half. There's the Bird-Clark combination again, but this time Clark misses. The rebound being taken by Magnifico. And that was a foul there for Lorenzo Duncan.
That's Kingston on 2 fouls.
Martin Henland there, number 13, replaces Alan Cunningham. Alan disappointed. He has his usual little moan about the referees, but he'll sit down and get himself ready to come back in the game.
A sloppy bit of defence there by Kingston. They were walking back to their own basket with their backs to the play. Italians took advantage there, and the ball went straight to Magnifico. So reduced the lead yet again. Magnifico with the extra point, so that was a 3-point play for Kingston, and Trevor Gordon on 4 fouls now, the 3rd Kingston player with 4. So the coach and his team under severe pressure. They've still got a 3-point lead, but we're still only halfway through this second half.
The difficulty they're facing is breaking this zone defence down. They've not looked comfortable against it, and they've forced the shots, but that's beautiful by Lorenzo Duncan. Absolutely beautiful. This man is not frightened to take responsibility. We've seen it throughout the game, and when Kingston struggle, Lorenzo Duncan usually comes up with something. Smart work.
Kingston, I'm sure, are very anxious to get their first victory in these playoffs for the European Cup. They've played 5 matches so far, and I'm sure that this victory would go a long way to justifying their place in the Cup, the first British team ever to do so. And Alton Bird could well be a key factor in the final result.
Again, facing this very big zone defence, looking for the gaps in the middle, moving the ball around the outside, looking for one shooter to take responsibility, but as you can see, not easy. Long shot from Alton Bird, slightly too long, exactly what Scavolini want to happen. Their big men pick up the rebound, and here they go on offence.
A good fast break there from the Italians, and that's Grattoni going in for 2 points. And I think we've got a big problem here now for Kingston, because that is Duncan's 4th foul. So they've now got 4 players, and this may be a bit of deja vu for the coach. 4 players on 4 fouls, with the danger of some of the key players being taken out of the game if they reach 5 fouls.
And that was really a question of experience, you know. Lorenzo Duncan should have let the man have the basket. There was no need to go in there. Magnifico, he wasn't going to stop him. The guy's 6'9", he's a very talented player. It would have been much wiser for Lorenzo Duncan to stay out of the action and preserve his fouls. But these are things you learn in the heat of European competition. Trevor Gordon again, he's had a magnificent game, and he looks so composed. This chap's got so much better this season.
Well, would you believe he hasn't missed a shot yet? He's scored 9 out of 9 baskets, so that's 18 points for Kingston. Very concerned coach Kevin Cadle there, adjudged to be one of the finest coaches in Britain. And Kingston here regaining some of the initiative, but when one considers they were 7 points in the lead less than 5 minutes ago.
That was a very important basket for Martin Clark. He's gone quiet. They need him to beat the zone, and he's such an important shooter, so that will give him so much confidence. Kingston looking good at the moment.
19 points to Martin Clark as Magnifico has his shot blocked. Kingston on the fast break with Bird, and Grattoni fouls.
Wonderful, wonderful play by Kingston. Terrific defense, lots of pressure, causing errors, and then breaking down the court and forcing the Italian team to foul. Wonderful play, gets the crowd to the feet, and there is a sense right throughout the stadium that Kingston are on the way to their first ever European victory. Alton knows what's going to happen now. Look at him lean in, force the man to foul him. Shrewd play by the little man.
Here we see the replay again, and in fact Grattoni was adjudged to have made an intentional foul, so that will mean shots and hopefully valuable points for Kingston. While team coach Kevin Cadle talks to his team about tactics for the next few minutes.
Now you know if we get a high, we want to flash in there, we want to take it to the bucket. Referees are calling fouls now, and we want to take it power to the basket. All right, we get 2 free throws, we get us a bucket here. Why don't we do this? We got you at the high here. You at the high post, all right? You're going to dribble over that way. Low, you want to come. Once you come out of the high post to the 3-point line, you can kick it to low, kick the mark, you got a 3, all right? You want to sit low post on that side. I'm coming to the key. Yeah, you're going to come to the key. You're going to come from over here to the key. Also going to take it off that way. You're going to come. He's going to hit you. You're going to hit Mark. We got a 3. Okay, let's go. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. Good now.
There he is, Kingston's main supporter. And can't you just feel the intensity of that timeout? They're so close to this wonderful, wonderful victory. Kevin Cadle's reading the game beautifully. He knows the referees are jumpy. He knows they're calling fouls, so he's saying to Kingston, let's take advantage. Step past your man, drive into the spaces, and the referees will give us those very, very important foul shots, just like Alton Bird is taking now.
Alton Bird 7 points now for Kingston. And that makes 8. So Cadel are going to be very pleased with that. The possession as well, because of the intentional foul, stays with Kingston.
This is very important, this offence, because if they score now, they've made 4 points from that one intentional foul.
Kingston rebounding magnificently, but giving possession away to the Italians, who themselves go on a fast break. 2 points there to Darren Day, and that was points thrown away by the home side.
Composure again, the order of the day. It's the clock's running out now. Kingston have got the margin. They've simply got to maintain the margin. Take the time, look for good shots only. Exactly what Coach Kevin Cadel asked for. Martin Henlon took a step round his man, Boney, and referee quickly gives the foul. Now, can we take advantage from the foul line?
You see there the foul by Boney, and the usual Italian dissent. So Martin Henlon is the player who goes to the free throw line.
Shooting 2.
That extends Kingston's lead, and this really a very, very important phase of the match. And there you see all 4 Kingston players who are now on 4 fouls.
Good defence by Kingston. Terrific man-for-man defence. Lots of pressure on the ball, lots of help inside. Darren Day, this excellent ex-American professional player, takes responsibility exactly as the Italian team pay him to do, and makes a valuable 2 points there. But now Kingston, Alton Bird in possession, the clock's on their side, they must be patient.
Well, patience may well be the name of the game now, because with this cushion of 7 points, certainly not one that they want to throw away. So Alton Bird dictating the pace of the game. And they're finding the Italian just a bit too large to go round.
A smart play by Alton Bird, because the clock was running down. Then you get 30 seconds in basketball before you have to shoot. They've got 5 seconds left now, Kingston, and they must take a quick and early shot.
Sam Stiller comes back onto court for his second period in this match. Long shot there by Alan Cunningham. Misses that this time, and Day takes the ball away for the Italians. Good drive in there, fed into Bonnie, who takes 2 points for the Italians. He's scored 3 in the match so far. Once again, the midfield general, Alton Bird, dictating the pace, slowing the game down. Once or twice in the last couple of plays, though, Bill, they've been in danger of running away from this 30-second rule. They must attack the basket within 30 seconds.
They're struggling against the zone defence of the Scavolini team, and it's crucial moments now for Kingston because their offence is stuttering. But look at Alan Cunningham, tremendously athletic, 6'7", a great leaper, and he rescues Kingston by taking the offensive rebound, collects the foul, and these are the important shots of the game. This is what will keep the margin for Kingston.
So Kingston stretched the lead back up to 6, and the points yo-yoing around at the moment because Kingston had a 10-point lead a little while ago. The Italians come away. 6.5 minutes left in this game. Kingston will, with this 6-point cushion, not anxious to give away fouls. That's a steal there by Stiller, and he's taking his time bringing the ball up court. Alton Bird with a 3-point shot.
That was so magnificent. That showed so much confidence and skill. The little man, Alton Bird, brings the ball down, sees the gap, and fires up a great, great shot. Kingston are heading home.
Well, what a magnificent achievement it would be as Magnifico goes in for 2 points for the Italians. It would be a fantastic achievement to see an English team progress towards the final playoffs for this European Cup competition. And Bird it was who stretched that lead again with that 3-point play. We haven't seen many long shots being taken in this match so far. But Bird, a past master at scoring 3 points from outside that zone. A lot of movement around the basket now. The Kingston players seem to have a new lease of life. They know they're not very far away from victory.
Again, that was great work off the ball by Alan Cunningham. Kingston offence was stuttering. Rather poor shot off balance, but Alan Cunningham in there to cause havoc on the rebounds, and the only way the Italians could handle him was by fouling him. That gives Kingston possession again, and they can have another 30 seconds, and they must show the patience and composure to use it and finish with a good shot at the basket.
Well, with Alton Bird on the ball again, it was Magnifico who made that foul for the Italians, so the Italian captain himself in a bit of trouble now with 4 fouls. Bird on the drive to Cunningham. Possibly a foul there underneath the basket. And if that was Trevor Gordon, that is 5 fouls. And he leaves the game. He's had a magnificent game as well. He scored 18 points and 9 rebounds, and he hardly missed a shot all day.
I really can't emphasise enough what a great job Kevin Scavelini done with this man, Trevor Gordon. The situation of the basket, Trevor getting desperate to win the boards, comes in from the far side, you could see him push. Good call by the referee, and it takes Trevor out of the game. But this was a player that no club wanted 6 months ago. Kevin Cadle took him and he's made him into a fine player, a player playing so well at European level. What a shame the game has to lose him at this crucial stage.
Certainly no disgrace there for Trevor Gordon. There you see what he's done in the game, 18 points. Really worked very, very hard. Kingston down to 6-point lead again. Just under 5 minutes remaining. Kingston desperate to see if they can get their first victory in this competition after 5 attempts. So it's not so much a question of whether they can progress through to the finals. As Clark goes in for a shot. 2 points there for Martin Clark.
Terrific turnaround shot by Martin Clark. A really clutch shot. And forcing Scavolini to a long outside shot. Kingston picking up the ball. Kingston controlling this game.
Martin Clark, the first player on court to go over 20 points. He now has 21. Alton Bird playing games there with the Italian defence. Cunningham back to Bird.
Kingston running the clock down very sensibly. Martin Clark blocked, and Scavolini come up with the ball.
Well, this is going to be interesting. We don't know whether this is a foul for Martin Clark, but if it is, he joins the long list of Kingston players now on 4 fouls.
And here you see the danger to Kingston. That's a bad foul by Martin Clark. He's decided that he's not going to let the player, Darren Day, score a basket. He's going to take it from the foul line. But if you looked at Martin Clark's face carefully, you saw fatigue. Kingston are tired, and that could be the one threat they have to face in winning this game.
The Italian coach there breathing a sigh of relief to see that basket go in. And 2 valuable points there for the Italians. The lead is cut to 6, just over 4 minutes to go, as Alton Bird goes on the charge again. Out to Clark, and another 2 points for Martin Clark, who goes to 23.
Wonderful play by Alton Bird. Scavolini threw a quick surprise press, 2 men against him. He beat both men, took the ball down the floor, and gave Martin Clark the open shot. Great play by the master.
Grattoni on a drive there, and that brings back the lead. Grattoni goes up to 15 points. Alton Bird sometimes looks so laid back and so relaxed, but I think it's a bit of a deception, isn't it? Because once he gets moving, he's like lightning.
He's got those essential elements of a great player, a change of pace which is dynamic. But now we want him composed, and he's doing just that. There's the dynamics piece.
Well, that might have looked like a shot under pressure again from Alton Bird, but again, the Kingston team guilty of nearly infringing that 30-second rule. They must attack the basket within 30 seconds. But a wild shot there for the Italians. Possession goes back to Bird. Just under 3 minutes to go, and still Kingston have this 6-point lead.
It's all about the clock. It's all about running the clock down and forcing Scavolini to take those rush shots, making errors. Alan Cunningham under pressure, but takes his own rebound. Brilliant play by Alan Cunningham. That was excellent play by Cunningham. He got forced into a poor shot, but decided immediately to win the rebound and make Costa foul him.
Well, here we see Alan Cunningham going for that shot, and it was Costa underneath the basket there. Adjudged to have pushed one of the Kingston players, and now during the timeout, strong words I'm sure from Kevin Cadle.
Okay? You got margin. You getting 15. I did say that. All right, so you're going to move back to one of the bigger men. All right? Hey, let's talk. Let's talk and move everybody to the ball. We talk, we move everybody to the ball. All right? So, hey, who got the one-on-one? We need two of them, baby. All right? Let's go now. Let's go.
Do it now. Do it now. That's the call from Kingston, and they will never have a better opportunity than they have now. They've struggled in Europe, they've come close, they've learned a lot of lessons, but now is the time. Look at Darren Day's face there coming off the Italian timeout, shaking his head. He looks defeated, but believe me, the Italian team have got lots and lots of experience and some very talented players. It's not over yet, but Kingston can control their own destiny. Martin Henlon, number 13 there, he's got to make the shots, and then Kingston have got to defend, win the ball back, and run the clock down. It's all in their hands.
This shot there from Martin Henlon. He scored 4 points in the game so far as the Italians break away. A missed shot there from Grattoni, so the Italian coach will not be very pleased about that at all. Altenberg back on the ball where he belongs. The clock running down to 2 minutes. Still Kingston have a 6-point lead. And thoughts perhaps go back from Kevin Cadle's point of view to a match they had recently where they tied at full time with the reigning European Cup champions, only to lose by 2 points. But at the moment, the Italians regain possession, and there's a bit of a scramble on the floor. Altenberg regains possession. He had a chance to go for the basket, but he wants the ball slowed down.
Kingston have got that extra ingredient, you know, as well as intensity, they're having some luck. And luck is so important when you come into the last 2 minutes of a game. They're holding possession, they're maintaining possession, they're scrambling, and they're coming up with the ball. And there's the bench of Kingston. Everybody in the stadium feels it. Historic moment. An English club is about to win in the last 8 of the European Cup, and this is magic for English basketball.
Well, one of the things I'm sure Kingston are very worried about at the moment, though, is the foul situation. They certainly won't want to give away any team fouls at all. And in fact, now it looks as though the Italians have been given a foul. That's Darwin Cook. His second foul, so no danger for him at the moment. There you see Lorenzo Duncan, the player offended by Cook. Every time the ball goes out of play, the clock stops, so although there's only 1.5 minutes on the clock at the moment, and Kingston have this 6-point lead, I'm sure to the coach and to the fans, the time is going to seem like forever. And a missed opportunity there. Kingston go for the rebound, but the Italians give them possession.
It's bad news when you miss foul shots in the last 2 minutes of the game, and Kingston have missed the last 2. It's a dangerous moment for them. Scavolini will try and shoot quickly or draw fouls. They'll go to the foul line, and then we'll see their composure at this level of pressure.
Martin Henlon there, the foul, his first, so again no danger for him in terms of approaching the 5-foul rule. And he didn't do very much there, he just stood still, but was adjudged to have lent on the Italian player.
Smart play by Cook, the Italian player, ex-NBA professional. He knows the Italian teams have to shoot quickly. He misses the foul shot. Again, the element of luck. Kingston must hold the ball now.
Well, with the Bird-Clark combination working well again, one wonders whether Kingston might look back on this match if they do lose it and see that they've given 21 points away from the free throw line as a result of fouls.
But they're doing just the right thing now. Here's the pressure, here's the foul, Altenberg to the foul line. Kingston playing a spread offence, moving the ball well, controlling the basketball, and eventually all that Scavolini can do is foul the little man, send him to the line. Here it is. Alton knows they're coming. Watch the reach. Darren Day causing the contact, making the foul. Timeout, Kingston.
High post as an outlet. All right. You get it. Whoever the other two are cut, you're gonna get marked now. Okay. Now, hey, we done missed 2 1-and-1s. We can't go with the third one. All right, so let's take care of it now. They coming up on us. Let's move the ball so we don't have to get on the free throw line. All right, they doubling. Everybody come to meet the ball, all right, and then know where you're going to make the next pass to so we can use up some clock. All right, let's use up some clock. Now, we get down D, everybody got to work. Move your feet, try to turn them, moving everybody to the ball because they're trying to go to the basket with it. All right, let's go, baby.
I come and put pressure on you. You got 15, all right?
Let's go, baby. 1, 2, 3. Do it now.
Well, the message was Special K, and Special Kingston it certainly is here tonight. The Italians during their timeout, really looking a bit demotivated. The coach giving instructions as to what should happen in this next attack, but it's Alton Bird who goes to the shooting line for Kingston.
Probably the most important shot of the game. He can seal it now. He gets one. If he scores it, he gets another one. He knows it. Good man. Good man. We're 1 minute from a historic win for an English club, and that coach knows it, and this coach knows it. Kevin Cadle's worked so hard, he deserves it. Yo!
14 points for Alton Bird. The lead goes to 8, so the Italians really under pressure now. And that's a charging foul for the Italians. That was Darwin Cook.
Smart play by Alan Cunningham. He knew Cook had to take the early shot, so he gets himself in position. Who makes the contact? Yes, Alan would stood still. The Italian makes the contact. Kingston have possession.
Well, an 8-point cushion, less than 1 minute to go, so Kingston could be the first team to go through to the finals. The Italians take 3 points back. And the Italians now putting a lot of pressure on Kingston, but find Cunningham way up the court. Alton Bird preferring not to have a go at the basket.
Well done, Alton. He does it once more. He forces Darren Day into the foul situation. They force Alton to shoot in. Of course, the Italians get the ball back and they can then make their own shot. So it's a tactical move by Day. Not poor defense, but tactically, he's putting the pressure on this man. He's saying to this man, can you go there under this pressure and score that shot again?
Well, from the Italians' point of view, they possibly couldn't have picked a worse man to put the pressure on, because Alton Bird, one of the most experienced players on court, but he misses that time. Still 5 points in Kingston's favour, and a bit of slack play there from the Italians. Only 30 seconds left. This could well be one of the last possessions Kingston have. 5 points in the lead, just what the Italians don't want at this stage. Keeping possession, they're not going to go for the shot. Martin Clark over to Lorenzo Duncan, and I think Kingston feel they have the match in the bag, and what a fantastic achievement it would be. The Italians not interested in defence at the moment.
Wonderful work by Kingston, don't they deserve it? The clock's running down. Historic victory, led by this man, number 10, Alton Bird. Kingston the victors.
The first British team to go and win a match in the European Cup, led by Alton Bird, led by Martin Clark, and led by this man, Kevin Cadle, who must go down now as one of the most successful coaches in British history.
Kevin's worked so hard for this victory. He's taken this Kingston's team, he's matured them. He's made them work in the tough atmosphere of European basketball. Tonight they showed all the things you need to win in Europe. They defended hard. They had some key players, Lorenzo Duncan and Alton Bird there. They rebounded well. They kept composure when the going got tough. They got going. And those two men, Alan Cunningham and Alton Bird, star players. Wonderful victory for Kingston. Anything can happen now, and Kevin Cadle knows it.
And that really was a marvellous result for Kingston, lifting British basketball to new heights. And this is how the table now looks. Incidentally, there's a feature on the league champions in Sports Night on Wednesday, and the week after there's highlights from their match with Barcelona.
They don't like the comparison, but Kingston are the Liverpool of basketball. They're always right up there at the very top. Last season, even by their standards, they did phenomenally well. They won a clean sweep of 5 trophies. They're probably the finest basketball team Britain's ever produced. And so far this season, they're at it again. They already need silver polish for 1 trophy, and they're undefeated in the league. But more important, they're the first British team to ever make the final 8 of the European Cup. In the blue vests, Kingston played their first home game against the reigning champions, Pop 84. They very nearly won an incredible match, but they lost it in the final seconds. American coach Kevin Cadle soon realised, as if he didn't know, that European competition was going to be a very different proposition. In their first 4 games, Kingston failed to win. They were up against top-quality opposition on court. And off-court too, there were basketball's financial facts of life to face up to. Kingston effectively play with one arm tied behind their back. Their opponents have big budgets.
Well, the wages is the prince and the pauper. I mean, you take a team in Greece, Aris, their payroll is $4.3 million, which is, over 2 million pounds. Limoges, France, they have a payroll of $4 million, 2 million pounds.
What's your wage bill?
Our wage bill is 90,000 pounds. So, they have, in most cases, they have one guy on their team who is probably making more than our whole entire budget. So we're dealing with the big boys.
You really are up against it, aren't you?
Yeah, you're up against it, but, it's a case of when you get out on the court, you really don't worry about it. It's just before the game and after the game, you're thinking, wow, that guy has all that money in his pocket.
Someone who doesn't is Martin Clark, arguably Britain's best player. But Clark will substitute himself next season.
I've actually made a decision I'm not going to play basketball next season simply because I cannot afford the time, and from a financial point of view, it's just not worth my while playing basketball anymore. I can make a lot more money in financial services, help a lot more people, which I like to do. It's an unfortunate decision, but because basketball isn't big in England, there's not big salaries involved, and I really can't make it my career.
Veteran of the courts is Alan Cunningham, a former Harlem Globetrotter, and using the football analogy, he has a theory of why Kingston are finding things tough.
Say you had a team like Sunderland playing Liverpool. They go up to Liverpool Stadium, they're in awe, like, oh God, we're here in Liverpool, this is great. What was that? Did he just score a goal on me? Oh God, Ian Rush went by me that quick? And they're really like, dang, okay, let me get in this game. And by the time they get in the game, they're 5-0 down. So, that's the difference. Same thing happens in basketball.
Basketball in Britain has always struggled to make a huge impact. Elsewhere, it's a monster sport, especially in America. Kingston continue to try and raise the profile of the game. Playing in blue again, their 5th European game was against Scavolini of Italy. Kingston always just about managed to keep their noses in front. But worrying for the sport was that there were plenty of empty seats at Crystal Palace Sports Centre. It was effectively a European Cup quarter-final. The British press were thin on the ground. The Italians were mob-handed. Live commentary down the telephone. But when it came down to the wire, Cadle's planning and clever substitutions helped them to their first European win. As the clock ran down, everyone was ready to celebrate. Now they have to build on that win. They play Leverkusen in Germany tomorrow.
We in there.
The target is a place in the Final Four in Paris in April. Stranger things have happened in sport.
What's it like to get the first win, fellas? Are you really going to Paris?